let's do our favorite early and late round quarterback targets. So you guys kind of heard our rankings a little bit here and there, but we're each going to give an early guy we're looking at and a late guy we're looking at. So Q, you can start us off with the two guys you're trying to target here.
It's early, pretty obvious. Justin Herbert, coming, I'm ranking him top 10 and becoming starting the season, but he's going to finish top 3. I don't see any reason why not, other than some weird sophomore slump. He has Keenan Allen. He broke all sorts of rookie records last year, so he's very smart with the football. And I mean, there's not much more to say. They have a new coach, so hopefully they can scheme to win more games, because that was also an issue last year. And you hope Austin Eckler can stay healthy, because they are dealing with a couple backup running backs as well. Shout out to Kalen Ballage, who's still alive and well.
You love Kalen Ballage. He's on the Steelers still, I think.
And he scored a touchdown. The only touchdown on the Steelers.
The only touchdown in the Hall of Fame game.
Late round target, another guy that I've probably mentioned a couple of times throughout different podcasts, Ryan Tannehill. He finished top 7 or top. I don't know what he finished.
7.
But 2019 when he took the job. Well, when he took the job, that last period of the season, he was like a top 10 quarterback. And then all last year, he was a top 7. So I don't see why not with another addition of Julio Jones. If you can play one game, it can help. Yeah, I think you're definitely getting a steal. I think he's the steal of the draft quarterback wise if you get him any later than his ADP.
Yeah, Tannehill could definitely be a steal. Definitely a late round target for me also. All right, T-Gods, who you targeting early and who you targeting late?
All right, early, Matt, I'm sorry, but I'm definitely targeting Dak. This man, through the first 4 weeks, had 350 more passing yards than the second quarterback. In only 4 weeks, almost 400 more yards than him.
It's a whole game.
He was averaging 423 passing yards and 3 touchdowns a game. That's 35 fantasy points a week from Dak. We saw what he could do with this offense. Coming back to the same team, as long as he's healthy, there's no reason to think that he can't do it again. Absolutely no reason. Late, this one might sound a little weird, but no, Matty Ice. Listen, they're going to throw the ball. Don't laugh. He was 4th in passing yards last year. You guys know that? Fourth.
I had to.
Julio only played, 9 games? Well, Julio only had 51 receptions. And Matt Ryan still did that. He had more passing yards than Josh Allen and Aaron Rodgers.
And I mean, you take away Julio, but you give him Kyle Pitts, and he still has Calvin Ridley.
Exactly.
And Russell Gage. Do not sleep on Russell Gage.
Literally, I had him on here, but it's okay. You can help me.
I'm sorry.
You can help me. It's all right. Matty Ice averaged 21 fantasy points and finished quarterback 13. Mike Davis, their new running back, he can catch the ball. You really think they're going to be running a lot? No, they're going to be down. They always choke. They choke every game. They're going to be throwing the ball a ton.
Is so bad.
He's a solid late round. Give me some Matty Ice. Some Matty Ice.
Solid late round guy. I'll take him as my QB too. You guys are selling me. I think I have him at 15, but yeah, definitely a solid QB too. I like it, T-Gods. I like it. I like it a lot. Matt, what do you got for us?
All right. My early round target, I'm going to kind of take Q's words right out of his mouth here, but I'm going Jay Herbo as well. His rookie season, he finished quarterback 9, I believe. Didn't even play the first week. He was thrown right to the Wolves, came out leading the pack. I love it. And Q kind of touched on it a little bit, but I think if Eckler is healthy all season, that is like a huge boost for Justin Herbert, because Eckler, we all know, was one of the best pass catchers out of the backfield in the entire NFL. And I just feel like still having Keenan there, Mike Williams, if he can stay healthy and do something with his life, that would be great. But I'm all in on Justin Herbert this year for sure. And late round is my guy. Not the prettiest name, but Kirk Cousins.
You like that?
Finished. His ADP last
He
year
likes that.
was QB 22. Finished QB 11. Nobody expected Justin Jefferson to have the season that he did last year, but now we know what that offense is hitting for with Dalvin Cook in the backfield and Thielen and Justin Jefferson on the other side. And also Irv Smith as well is a name to
Irv.
keep an eye on, because I think this offense is actually going to be very efficient as long as Kirk Cousins doesn't shoot himself in the foot and turns the ball over so much. So, I mean, if you're getting him, say, like maybe round 9 through 11, I think that's fair enough to get a top 12 quarterback.
Yeah. Definitely think Kirk is a solid late guy as well. I like those takes, Matt. I'll finish this off here with my early round target. I think we all know it's coming. Kyler Murray. I already talked about him like 5 times today. He's currently going as QB3, 39th overall. That's a little bit too high for where I would want to take him. I'd probably take him at the end of round 4, early round 5. I think that's the perfect spot to grab Kyler if he's there. And if he's there, I'm taking him in every single draft. I obviously mentioned already, I think he can be the QB1 this year. If not, he's most likely going to finish top 3. We saw what he could do last year with DeAndre Hopkins. They added AJ Green. They added Rondale Moore. They added more weapons for Kyler, and he's going to be able to have a little bit of a better pocket. I think they helped the offensive line out as well. So Kyler Murray is my guy to grab there in the early rounds. But for the late rounds, I'm definitely going Matt Stafford. It's not too late. He's going quarterback 10 right now at 80th overall. But I do really like Stafford this year. It's definitely a late quarterback you're grabbing as your QB1. And I think you could get a top 5 quarterback, as I mentioned already. He gets the best situation he's been in his career since Calvin Johnson. And back then he was consistently a top 10 quarterback. So grab Matt Stafford for sure this year on the Rams.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's transition into a little bit more spicy takes. Q, start us off.
The
do you
Ryan
got?
Tannehill podcast. I think Ryan Tannehill finishes above Lamar Jackson this year. They both had 7 rushing touchdowns last year. So as I touched on, he has rushing ability. They added another weapon. And Lamar is just going to be stagnant this year, not really move up or down. Maybe down in my case. But Ryan Tannehill just has so much more upside. Maybe not around the goal line, but he can run. So maybe there's a trick play out there for him. Probably not, because Derrick Henry's going to run in. But they did lose Corey Davis and Jonnu Smith. But adding Julio Jones kind of makes up for most of it. Let's call it hot. I think it's pretty fair.
Hot. It's definitely possible, though. I don't, obviously it happened last year, so it's not out of the realm of possibility. But for me, it's hot. Obviously, I got Lamar at 4, but I
It's hot,
respect it.
baby.
Too. I respect it. T-Gods, what do you got?
All right. What is Russ known for in the fantasy world?
Cook
Being a
late-
mobile quarterback.
late-
that can
late-
also throw.
late game cooking.
Late
Okay.
game cooking.
No, well,
Like-
what I was going for was him being hot either in the beginning or the end of the season, right?
All right.
He always
Yep.
does that, like every year. It's one
Yeah.
half or the other.
He has
What-
his heat waves.
What if he did, like, what he did in half the season, but the whole season?
He'd
Then what do you-
He's
what do you
gonna
think-
be.
What do you think would happen?
He was
That's
going to be
why I got him
QB1.
ranked number 4.
Well, I think he's going to finish at the top 3. Maybe. If he can do that, that's the only way, though, because he only cooks in one half of the season. I need to see the whole season, top 3, Russ.
I like
Definitely
it.
see that happening. All right, Matt. Time to make T-Gods angry. What do you got?
Sorry, Teagues, you're gonna hate me, but
I might
I
leave.
do not believe Dak finishes as a top 8 quarterback this year.
Top
I mean,
That's a bad
missing
take.
all that time last year with that nasty ass injury. I mean, I don't see how he can come back from that and be as mobile as he was once before. And so I think that takes not too big of a hit, but a little bit of a hit on his production. And I also think that they try and get Ezekiel Elliott a lot more involved this year, because last year Zeke kind of fell off a cliff and people were just clowning him like the second half of the season because he was just god awful. So I think they try to get him going. And I mean, Dak does have great weapons in Amari Cooper, CD's nuts. And if they decide to extend Gallup, I don't know. If they don't, they're making a big mistake, because if that's the case, there's no way Dak finishes top 8. They're going to
That
get
still
rid of
loves
their best
Gallup.
receiver.
Stop.
Don't forget Blake Jarwin.
Hot takes everywhere.
Dalton
with
Schultz.
him dealing
Dalton
with
Schultz.
and with Dak dealing with this new injury to his shoulder and his throwing shoulder of all things, I mean, that's just kind of scary. Definitely something to keep an eye on.
All right, Matt.
Sean,
All
don't
right.
roll your eyes at me like that.
No, I actually I was just, I don't know what I was doing. I could see it happening, but I still like Dak as a top. I have him at 6, but you could easily squeak in the top 5
understand.
too. Dude, last year his pace was like unheard of. Like
Yeah,
the
it was.
yards would have been insane. Obviously unsustainable though. All right, my bold take here: Jalen Hurts finishes as a top 8
Oh my
quarterback.
God.
The rushing
I thought
ability.
Matt was hot.
The Eagles defense
I
is
am
looking a
hot.
little bit better, but still not going to be one of the best defenses in the league. So Jalen Hurts is going to have to do it all for this team. The Eagles look like they're going to be keeping Zach Ertz, as we'll talk about in a little bit here. So Jalen Hurts still has 2 very solid tight ends. He gets Devonta Smith, gets Jalen Rager back fully healthy this
what
year
that's
as
worth.
well. For what that's worth, Travis Fulgham. There's still some pieces there that he's going to be able to make work, but for the most part, Jalen Hurts is going to do his damage with his legs. And for fantasy, that's what we like to see. Jalen Hurts could easily run for 1,000 yards this year, if not more. And with pretty much nothing left on the Eagles to really help him out. So Jalen Hurts is going to have to do everything for this Eagles to win any games. I like Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Put
He
him
may
in
have
the
to
top
play.
8.
He may have to play defense and special teams in order to somehow get in top 8, get some picks and punt return touchdowns.
He could easily squeak into the top 8.